morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Folarin. Operation Pythom Dance 2. That's going to be our subject of discussion this morning. It's an operation, mounted by the Nigerian Army, and it has been said that, long story short, it's all about maintaining security and safety and tranquility in its area of operation, namely the Southeast, and in particular, some areas like Abia, Imo State, and that kind of a thing. But it has been followed with a lot of comments, not all of them on the same side. To some, there is apprehension. Human rights groups have risen and said that, look, they're going to be watching this very, very carefully. Those that would appear at first glance to not entirely be at one with it have spoken of it being little more than attempts to intimidate people of the region. But as I said, the Nigerian Army has said, long story short, it's about maintaining safety, security for members of the public, and just maintaining law in that area. Now, we'll take your comments as well. But in the studio, we have two experts on these kind of matters. Coming from the, if I would say, the civil society groups, he spoke up for himself, Sabo Ode. Yes. Sabo Ode is National Coordinator, Coalition of Civil Society for Transparency. Thank you very much, Mr. Ode, for coming on.
Good morning, viewers.
Indeed. And, well, our friend Colonel Hassan Stanlabo, retired, is a security consultant, well known to viewers of This Morning on TVC. You're very welcome, Colonel.
I appreciate it, Jerry.
Indeed. Let me start off with the civil society groups. Now, this operation on ground, something calling it, bodies calling themselves coalitions of civil society groups have said that we need to watch this very, very carefully. Just, keep a magnifying glass on the human aspects of this, human rights aspects of this, and be sure that nobody is hard done by. Give me your impressions generally on this effort of the Nigerian Army, which, as I said, they have said, if you cut a long story short, it's about the state of security, maintaining that, maintaining law. Give me your impressions.
Folarin, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think this is simple, maintaining law and order. We, from the civil society group, have a situation room on this already. Our position is that law and order has to be maintained. There have been a lot of happenings negatively in Nigeria. It is time that the government take preemptive measures to forestall unforeseen situations. We know what Boko Haram has meant to us in our psyche, and therefore I think that what government is doing is right.
Okay, thank you very much for that opening. Colonel,
yes,
how do you see this against, I wouldn't say there's a pushback, but there certainly have been more than a few voices urging caution, some saying that, as a matter of fact, this whole business of safety, security, maintenance of law is the work of the police. Why is the army coming into an internal issue, security issue?
First and foremost, thanks so much, Yoron. First and foremost, I want us all to understand that there are legal or statutory provisions. In fact, Section 217 of the Constitution empowers the military and law enforcement agents to protect lives and property from external threats, internal threats, resurrection, to be specific. I mean, insurrection.
Rebellion.
Yes, which is rebellion and so on, to be specific. Yori, I want to tell you something. This country has gone through an experience that makes every responsible government now to sit up. There is enough respect for the fundamental rights of every Nigerian, but that should not be abused by individuals who think they can take us miles and years back.
Even though they could say that they are operating under the dictum of freedom of speech.
Normally, we all go under the cover of freedom of speech, movement, and association. Those are the fundamental rights. Am I right? Good. But you don't go hide under that and want to, disrupt Inconveniencing.
and inconvenient 180 million Nigerians. Government cannot sit and watch when all the early signs or early warnings are there that if we are not careful, we shall have another Boko Haram in our hands. This was the same step government took with El Zakzaki up north in Zaria. We remember Metesine? Metesine, we did not wake up on time, and that was why it got us to where it got us to. Boko Haram, the same thing. And that's why El Zakzaki was immediately crushed. Any uprising, any revolt that is not in tandem with the wish
The Constitution.
and the constitution of the Nigerian people will be crushed.
Okay. Coming back to you, Mr. Ode, following from one, what you said, and then two, the Colonel, these nationalistic sentiments, do you think that there is a perceived threat in the way some people, and in particular, let it be said, IPOB, are carrying on? And there are those who think that why are we elevating this whole thing to a status where he can feel that he has caused this level of reaction?
The man's declaration are everywhere. I want to march into Abuja with 2 million men. Very recently, we saw people in uniform called the Secret Service of Biafra.
I'll stop the
In uniform, with berets.
stop.
Go and look at the status book. Anybody who puts on a uniform.
And also
These are
threatening to stop elections.
Treasonable actions.
I'm coming. Anybody who, go and look at the status books. Anybody who wears a uniform and a beret with a flag and says, I am doing this, it's treasonable.
Declaring another country.
Declaring, succeeding,
That's secession, yes.
it's treasonable. In fact, can I say something? The government is being very fair. They are handling these issues like father and son issues.
Okay.
Now,
what you're saying is that, as far as you're concerned, government is still wearing kid gloves.
yes, they are.
What are the issues?
Oh yeah, crushing. They should march on them.
The government has been patient,
Of course they have.
not overreacting,
I must
as some people are saying.
I must be very frank. Government has underreacted.
Under a situation where every day through our ports, we are receiving shipments of arms and ammunition, and we don't know who are these guys behind it. And yet we know individuals amongst us saying, this new nation of Biafra is going to stay. You are watching.
You are here
You are watching.
from the point of newsmaking. That this same young
Jesus
man
Christ of Nazareth.
said there won't be an election in Anambra State. What does that mean to you?
And they say it with every confidence. And shipment of ammunition are coming
Coming
to the
to
country.
Anambra.
Okay.
We must sit up.
Indeed. And that seems to
must
be
sit up.
the position
My brother,
of government. But let it be said, it therefore means that you can't place, you in particular, Mr. Ode, you're not placing too much store on the whole issue of this is an attempt to intimidate us in that region of the country.
Who is intimidating who? It's Kanu who is intimidating government. I'm telling you this.
Yes.
He's the one who is intimidating government. To the point that Kanu is the one I want to move into Lagos. I will come there, nothing can happen. Yes. There's a government in place in Lagos.
I will stop the Anambra elections.
I will stop the Anambra election. There's a government in place in Anambra.
A
I will go to
single
Abuja. If you try me, I will burn down the whole of the zoo. That is the language.
Okay. So
It's painful.
Any self-respecting government, seems to be what you're saying, is not going to take this forever.
I sincerely think that government has underreacted. If I were anywhere around the place, I would have done something.
Now,
Sorry, my brother. I am not a military apologist, especially when it comes to governance of my nation, because I believe in democracy. In fact, the military has benefited more under democratic setups. I've always said it. Kanu cannot emerge under Abacha and still be where he is.
Not at all.
Where was he when Abacha was in power?
The same Kanu was in London
Where was he?
6 years ago. He was campaigning for.
Where was he under Buhari, government? Not now that the man age has, taking care of him.
Can
and
he do that when
his health
when
issues
Obasanjo
are
was
there
there?
and so. Could he even do that under Obasanjo?
As a civilian president.
They're not happy with, for instance, Governor Okorocha. They say he, well, no doubt having sentiments such as you are expressing here, perhaps, I don't know his mind, but they say some of the actions he's taken are against his people, are a wicked, demolition of sun markets, and so we have a situation now where a curfew has been extended in areas of the southeast and...
There's curfew in Abia, there's
yes.
curfew in part of Imo.
Yes, yes. And people are... people think that we're getting... maybe we'll get reactions from home.
You are not getting the perspective.
Yes, we need to.
The perspective is this. Just as they were posting these viral photos on online, at the same time, they were killing Northerners. That's the truth.
Well, that's an explosive one. Mm.
You don't know that there was something happened in River State, or Igbo Market for particular. Huh? When compare the date.
In fact, the police have arrested 32, no less.
Compare the date
after those
of
clashes.
when Kanu is claiming that soldiers have come to overtake his home and all that. Same time. I have just told you that we have a situation room that investigates this information.
Okay, yes, you did say that,
Yes.
your civil society has a situation room,
Yes.
continues to look at all these
Yeah.
issues.
We continually, at every point we come to sensitize Nigerians to say, this is our fears, and this is what we can do differently.
Wait a minute, let me hear from, that region. Ugochukwu is calling in from Aba. Good morning, Ugochukwu. Mr. Ugochukwu in Aba. I hope the line... Mr. Ugochukwu, can you hear us?
Good morning, Mr. Yuri.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead with your comments.
Hello, Mr. Yuri.
I can hear you. Mr. Ugochukwu in Aba.
Hello.
In Aba, good morning.
Wave to him.
Hello, Mr. Yuri.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Good morning.
Speak. Thank you. You can't hear me, but I can hear you. Everybody can hear you.
Mr. There is a lot of problem in Abia State now.
Very good. Let's hear
That
it.
was caused by the IPOP.
Go ahead.
Thank you. You don't hear me, but I can hear you. Everybody can hear you. Because there is a lot of problem in Abia State now. That was caused by the IPOP. There is no business going on here. Everywhere is right now. IPOP causing problem, burning soldiers, checking points.
Please continue. Don't wait for the feedback. Don't wait to hear yourself.
Mr. Yuri, the federal government needs to intervene in all this.
Which the army has done. But, Ugo, don't wait to listen to yourself. Please continue as normal.
We can't sleep in the night.
Mr. Ugochukwu, well, I don't know. I think we lost that call, but we did, you could have said a lot more in the time that you had. But, well, the precious little that you did say was that things are not well, up where you are.
Yeah, and the federal government needed to intervene.
Yes, and that the government needs to intervene, which, arguably one of the planks of that particular intervention is what we see now. Thank you for calling in, Mr. Ugochukwu, but can I also say to other viewers, when you get in, because of the satellite, there will be a time delay. Don't bother listening to yourself. It can be uncanny, and but just go ahead. Know that we are speaking. Don't pause, and when you start hearing your echo, listen to it before you say the next sentence. Please just continue. That having been said, now we're hearing up there that these people, for whatever reason, are not the IPOB people are not taking things easy and are going to the ridiculous extent, if you ask me, of taking on the Nigerian
military
army.
checkpoint.
Yes.
Taking on the Nigerian
Mr.
army.
Yori, let me say something. IPOB is coercing individuals or people into...
Ugochukwu just said it. That
Yes.
IPOB is causing problems here.
That's
We
an
can't sleep
Aba
at
man.
night.
They are making
In
people
Aba,
identify with them
we
when
can't
they are
sleep
not
at
ready
night.
to. For their own
No
security.
business is going on here.
They
My
are
brother, you know,
coercing
we are going to look at
individuals into
several
it.
implications.
Okay.
Several implications. The economic implications is going to hit very, very hard the Igbo man. If Aba goes out of business for 2 days, what do you think is the implication? That's what is going on.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Let me take Professor Ralph from University of Lagos. Prof? Professor Ralph, can you hear me? Professor Ralph Akinfeleye, we can take you now if you can hear us.
Thank you very much. I'd like to make a small contribution.
Okay.
I think it's a note of warning to... Yes, I can hear you clearly. I just want to make a small contribution. I think, and also a note of warning to our brother Kano and his court. Here's a man was given a conditional bail, and he has violated all the conditionalities given to it. And then he should also note, go and check in the dictionary the meaning of pattern. Pattern don't dance. Pattern don't dance. And it's a specialized snake.
Yes.
And they don't even bite, they swallow.
Yes.
You should understand that they should not take for granted the power of the military. And it cannot be above the law. And he's doing this one on his own. He was captured, he was detained, released. I thought by now he should be fighting for the release of the other 3 people who were detained the same time with him. It appears that he wants the military to change Operation Pythom Dance to Operation Pythom Bite.
Yes.
Python
Or
don't
swallow.
dance. They bite, they swallow. I think a note of warning is good for the wise. And all the governors over there should be able to warn him. I just read in the paper today and also on the internet. They are burning stations, police stations, army checkpoints, and the like. This is an aberration. Please issue note that Python don't dance. So Python, they bite and they swallow. So final warning for him. I beg you. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in, Professor Akinfeleye. Mr. Oguchukwu called in from Aba, and quite frankly, he was speaking along those lines, and it seemed to me, listening to him, that it was a count me out, count us out, a lot of people, out of what's going on. No business going on in Aba here. We can't sleep in Aba. IPOB members are burning military checkpoints. You're just begging for intervention. Yeah. You're begging for intervention, and I don't know if this is, I hope this is not a Jim Jones kind of a syndrome where you're just being suicidal, maybe wanting to go down in a blaze of glory. Maybe when we hear much more.
Maybe some martyrdom or whatever.
Well,
but if you go through the history, Kanu Namdi himself is somebody who thinks he has something upstairs, and frankly, nothing.
He has nothing upstairs.
He's the son of a traditional ruler in his.
In the East, that gets into the head. You are a son, a prince.
Yes, and in fact, he actually lives within his father's palace compound, where I hear that he has erected special canopies for the hordes of people that are holding vigil there. All of this is being observed by the army. The army, I understand, is patrolling all of the areas, not excluding that one, and this again is causing some sort of
Let me just pick it up
Sure.
from there. The army is actually embarking on a show of force. Show of force exercise is a deterrent exercise.
Yes, it is.
Okay? It is meant to let troubleshooters within the community to know that, look,
see the
We
extent
have
of what
it
you
takes
want to
to
confront.
take care of you. See what you want to confront. Okay? And they just go round. Are you saying when they are going around in that nature, they should not pass Kano Street? Is Kano the owner of the street? Who is Kano to block them? It's just like El Zakzaki's case in Zaria. Who is El Zakzaki and his men to have blocked the chief of army staff and his troop? You don't do that.
Sadiq
That's
in
disrespect.
Jigawa,
That's
good morning,
disrespected
sir.
to an institution.
Okay, good morning.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Query, I think this is the right step in the right direction that the government has taken. Because if we take, for example, the Boko Haram started, it started in a similar way.
Yes.
And caution was not taken on that. It escalated to this present situation we are in. Secondly, this thing Nnamdi Kanu we're talking about, I doubt if any of his leaders from the Southeast have cautioned him. They've not done anything compared to what the northern governors did to the northern areas that gave the ultimatum of Igbos quitting the north. So I think it's the right thing in the right direction, because if care is not taken, it's going to turn this country into something else.
Yes.
Secondly, considering the weapons that was found in Kinkan Island, Lagos, if you look at it, 3 consecutive times the weapons were caught. It's from the same destination, Turkey. And just last week, Turkey ambassador was cautioning the Nigerian government that they should be soft in handling Nnamdi Kanu issue. So I think there's a relationship between Turkey, IPOB, and any unsettlement in this country. So I think it's the right thing that the government are doing. They have to curtail him in order to avoid any problem in the country.
Indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sadiq, for calling
Government
in.
must be proactive.
Masab is not even left out of this, because I was reading on the internet what Masab was saying, if the internet publications are to be believed, is that it is a thinly veiled effort to intimidate people of the Southeast.
That is from Masop.
Yes.
That's Masop's
But
position.
Masop has a method of reacting, of managing its own matter with the federal government.
They've been somewhat civil. They've been somewhat
They have a
civil.
25-point plan.
Yes.
How to manage these issues.
Yes.
They know the consequences. I'm not sure Chief Ralph Wazirike will do what Kanu is doing.
They are more
Though
civil.
Kanu is a fallout of Wazirike, but I'm not sure that Wazirike will agree for anyone close to him to be doing what Nnamdi Kanu is doing.
And if I may just add, Yuri, all the agitations ongoing from the camp of Kanu and of the IPOP camp and whatever, frankly speaking, they can be accommodated by the current drive for restructuring.
Yes.
Okay.
If only the energy they are expending on this Biafra thing could be diverted to restructuring, some of us, like myself from up north, frankly, I will tell God thank you. So that we shall have enough energy,
Strength and people.
and strength behind the push for restructuring.
But
I will personally...
but not splitting up Nigeria.
No.
That-
Restructuring has nothing to do
restructuring
with
is not-
Nigeria.
I'm saying that
It is the option
they are
to
saying that
split Nigeria.
independent peoples of Biafra, that's the whole idea.
That is not restructuring.
Exactly.
To us, restructuring is rather an answer to the dismemberment of Nigeria.
Okay, Mr.
It is the
Obutu,
option.
this time in Lagos Island. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, my name is Obutu. I'm calling from Lagos. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can. Please continue.
Hello.
Mr. Oguchukwu, if you're watching,
Just tell him this.
Hello.
go ahead, please. Mr. Oguchukwu, I don't know what's wrong with the lines. Okay, let me just in case, if that kind of a situation happens again,
Go ahead
and if I do this, it means I can hear you loud and clear.
Keep talking.
And then this other sign, it means please speak. Everybody will hear you because we can hear you, the audience can hear you, but for some reason
You are
you
not
can't
hearing
hear
yourself.
us. So just in case, it's happened twice now. So just in case, it means I can hear, please speak, end of story. So there's as you said, if you would embrace this whole matter of restructuring,
right.
which, by the way, not everybody is on board with, but that's another story.
Yes.
That's another story.
Yes.
It includes aspects of the aspirations of whatever group. If you can come to the table and talk about it, Mr. Ode, do you see it like that?
Of course. Look, it's not everybody, like you said, is on board with restructuring.
Not everybody.
Yes,
But it's a method,
especially in the north.
It's a means of getting to a point. It could be a means of getting to a good point. Not what...
And at least we would be dialoguing.
Negotiating. Talking.
Even up north, where there seems to be the greatest amount of resistance, I would say, towards restructuring, a lot of people are now buying into it.
Are you
aware of the line of action the governors are about taking? Going around to sample people's opinion upon it. They are to hold town hall meetings and so on. The governors were on air yesterday. Yes. Okay. Because the call for restructuring has reached a point that you cannot ignore.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me bring in Ekene. Ekene is calling in from Kumasi in Ghana. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning, your guests over there.
Sure. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. About the issue that is going on in the Southeastern Nigeria now.
Operation Python. Operation Python 2.
Operation Pythom Dance 2. Let's ask ourselves some question. This Python 2, is it bringing the unity of Nigeria or is it disunity the Nigeria? Because if you look at the way the army is going about this Python, why is it that it's only Mahia, Nnamdi Kanu home? Why you know that there is no love lost between Nnamdi Kanu and the Nigeria government? Why are they deploying those soldiers to attack his residence? Look at the video that is going viral on social media now, where army captured the Biafrans, those who don't have even pencil in their, but only have the Biafran flag. They flog them, they beat them after they shoot all of them dead. Is that the way to keep Nigeria one?
Okay.
Must they kill the Igbos in order to keep Nigeria one? If it is the way, all this thing, we are going this thing in a peaceful way. Actually, have not taken any arm. They haven't fight anybody. But Nigeria government is pushing them to take arm.
All right, then. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you, Ekene, for calling in. Colonel.
Yes, please. Operation Pythom Dance 2 is not, tailored at Nnamdi Kanu. I think that's a big mistake people are making. It's an operation in the entire southeastern part of Nigeria, and it's going on simultaneously in every state. Patrols and a show of force and so on.
So there's a heightened state of security.
Yes, because all the developments in the East, look at those pronouncements about election not to hold in Anambra. And of course, the fact that IPOP is every day mobilizing. In fact, I will not call it mobilizing, coercing. Because there are individuals who are today IPOP members who in their minds, they wish they are not IPOP members.
Yeah.
But because of fear of reprisals, they associate and identify with IPOP so that at least their family can be saved.
Yes.
I am telling you what I know.
Yeah.
Federal government, the federal government has a statutory responsibility to protect every Nigerian, to protect the life and properties of every Nigerian. Government has to be proactive.
Because the point is that if you are of Igbo extraction,
yes,
it doesn't necessarily follow that you are aligned with IPOP or MASSOP.
And if you don't do that,
matter,
they can threaten you.
Yes.
Exactly, and that is the issue.
A lot of Igbos don't believe in Biafra.
Mr. Yakub in Dokwemu, good morning, sir.
Thank you, Chief Yori. And then good morning to the two wise men in the studio.
Thank you.
I really love this topic this morning. I dare to disagree, even though the last caller has right to his opinion, which is very good, because this program is the only program that gives us the opportunity to bear our mind. If having said that, even though the person has right to opinion, as I said earlier, I dare to disagree with him. You see, Chief Jolly, let me give you a typical example. Assuming the way IPOB is going now, today or tomorrow, it's an example. Ghanaian Adams of this world or Shifa Shehu, as case may be, beginning to raise another flag, the Yoruba of nation. And then In the north, another people raise another flag. The northern nation. What will happen, Shivyori, to the so-called Nigeria as a suffering country? This is a suffering country. What right anybody whosoever have in this country to raise a flag, even command a flag in a suffering state, that you are calling yourself IPOB or whatever. Shivyori, let me tell you, the way the man is going. Now, some people that need to talk, now they keep silent. They did not say anything until military moving. And then they are not telling us that they don't have right to do that. They don't have right to do this. Chief Jari, now that the military moving now, they're beginning to talk. Chief Jari, there are some people, even today, if they even give them their own sovereign state that they should go, the Igbo people should go. I can tell you today, some of people, they will still disagree with this so-called IPOB because of the person that is leading the team. He don't have any right to do so. I can give you an example. The military should go in and make sure they capture all of them and send them to where they're supposed to be.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Yakub. Thank you very much, Mr. Yakub.
You know, let me add to that. Unfortunately, the quiet, the silence from Igbo leaders has become of very serious concern to some of us. The Southeast governors have kept very quiet. Ndigbo, the other Apex organization, Ohanaze, has kept quiet until Kanu threatened the elections in Anambra. And after that, the tunes changed. Now, I'm leading you to the agenda. After the threat to the elections in Anambra, the tunes changed. Can you imagine that little boy somewhere in Afara, Isiama, being invited to government house in Enugu? For what?
Well, he alleges, my producer is telling me
pollution.
That he's also
conspiracy.
Alleging that he's not safe.
Conspiracy,
that is a trick.
collusion by the Southeast governors.
Yeah, okay, that's the way you look at it.
That's the way I look at it.
Let me bring in another Mr. Ugochukwu, this time in Accra, Ghana. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Uncle Yore, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning, your guest over there.
Morning, gentlemen.
I really enjoy your program, Uncle Yore. You are trying.
Thank you.
Yeah. The only what I want to contribute this morning, you see, it's high time we tell ourselves the truth. I blame Britain. They are the one that put us in this problem that everyone is clamoring today.
Who? The United Kingdom?
Yeah. Yes. Britain.
Britain. Okay.
I want to ask you, Yore. 1914, there is anything like a map of Nigeria? There is none. Until they created it. And they will have amalgamation.
How does all of that relate to Operation Python Dance 2?
No, what he's trying to say is that Kanu can abandon can break off.
Because people want to go where they are before British came. And the British, they will not allow. Because it's their factory. Can you say, Uncle Yore, are you enjoying Nigeria? You are not enjoying it.
No, you can't speak for me.
Say,
you can't speak for me. You can only speak for yourself. I am enjoying a united Nigeria.
Yes.
I'm coming. When herdsmen, they are killing everywhere, ravaging all those countries.
You can't speak. I'm from Benue State. You can't speak on that.
Okay. Well, again, we've registered your opinion.
Yes.
It would appear that you don't exactly see eye to eye with government efforts to just hold this whole thing down and not let it get out of hand.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We've registered that opinion.
You see, it's becoming very dramatic when, because of some faces in Aso Rock, because you don't like the faces in Aso Rock, every other criminality should take place. It's unfair. It's painful. It's not right.
In fact, the point has been made. You said, as far as you're concerned, the kid gloves, the government has been using kid gloves.
Oh, yes.
But it's not going to sit down and let this country go down for people clearly that, from government's point of view, have not thought this out well enough at all. There are avenues. But before you go, sir, a certain Mr. Gbenga also wants to join this conversation. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Yori and gentlemen there.
Yeah.
My name is Benga from Abuja.
Okay.
You see, the case of a Python dance, I've seen Python, but I've not seen where he danced. But when he danced, many things may happen. And the reason is that, you see, this guy, Kob Kanu, is running the script or playing the script of some leader in the Southeast. But he got his finger burnt when he declared that there will not be election in the Southeast. That is where he went against the leaders.
That's it.
And he's trying, and they're not trying to bring him back and say, look, this is not what we asked you to do. And it's difficult to do that. Now, when somebody says there will not be election in a sovereign state, and you are waiting for that day to happen, the military, that person, I want to see it done, so that they will know that there is a power that controls this constitution in this country. We don't have a two-nation. A single man cannot declare there will not be election in the whole South Street, starting from Anambra, which is about 2 months now. Should government wait for that 2 months? Do we know the arms in this country? Look at what was seized in the custom, by the custom in some days ago. How many have crossed our border without us knowing? That Python should dance and make sure there's peace everywhere in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just in case.
That's
Exactly. So really, the program today, there's very little to say about Operation Python Dance 2, apart from the fact that it exists and the reasons why it exists, but also to take feedback on what people are thinking.
Yes.
And, you know, we're getting a very clear, you know, idea
Mindset.
of people. You see, the point, maybe bears saying again, not every Igbo man or woman subscribes to the whole IPOB idea.
Can I tell you, 2 days ago,
of a new
Igbo women and their spouses or wives were traveling through Umahia because they had the seat cover in Nigerian flag. They were brought out of the car, stripped naked, and given terrible beatings. One of them, I think, was raped.
Igbo women.
Yes.
Mr. Nasir in Mowe, good morning.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. I would like to contribute.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Nasir.
This guy called Kanu should be very careful. My name is Damidele Nasir. I was born in the East. Igbo people are peace-loving people.
Thank you.
I'm a Yoruba man, but I was born in the East. He should be extremely careful so that he should not divide Nigeria.
Cannot.
Nobody can try this with the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. And if President Muhammadu Buhari is that patient and is taking things easy and still come back to say the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, he should be careful and stand for unity like other Igbo. I can speak Igbo language fluently. He should not come down here and divide Nigeria. He should be extremely careful.
Okay.
He's bringing albums to Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay.
And the leaders of the group should caution him. No Yoruba man can try this. No Hausa man can try this. He's overstepping his boundaries. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much for calling
You can
in, Mr.
imagine the
Nasir.
reaction from the northern leaders on those youths who made those comments.
Yes,
Even when Mr. President came back in his speech, he mentioned it. Every Nigerian has a right to stay in every part of the country.
Indeed.
And that sends the money.
But to be fair, for a while, there was also criticism of the northern elite, of
Yes,
northern
of course.
leaders, that they were, just like we're saying now,
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
East Houses, they were silent.
Of
But
course.
then perhaps when the criticism came that, what kind of elders are
Yes,
you?
how can you be
I
watching
was,
those
I was on your program in Abuja and I took that issue clear.
You're seeing visuals of actuality visuals in Anambra, I beg your pardon, Abia. You can see flags, you know, that you just saw a flag flash past your screen there. These are the kind of things that will be, quite frankly, very irritating to any serious nation. Because there you go. You saw. I just looked and I just saw another flash of those flags.
Yeah.
So these kind of things are going on. Now, are those people saying that they need to be left alone to do precisely what they want, no matter what the laws are, no matter the fact that their purported leader is out on conditional bail, all of which all conditions of which, quite frankly, have been flouted?
Yori, I'm talking from
So
the point.
he's actually conducting himself as if he's above Nigerian
I will
laws.
advise
and that's where Python probably comes in. Say, hang on, within the enclave of Nigeria, there are laws. You can't, nobody, not even the president of the Federal Republic is above the laws of Nigeria.
In the first place, let me just make a clarification. Operations go by code names. And these code names, in most cases, don't often relate to the situation on ground. They may at times, but not often. I'm saying this because the general public seems to see every code name of an operation to be relating to it.
Okay.
That is one. Secondly, I will advise every mother who has a son on the streets there, like we just watched on the television, to please withdraw her son home.
Or a child, yes.
Or child, son or daughter. Please withdraw them home.
You have families.
You have
traveling
families.
through Abia.
If you love those children,
please
hold their ears and bring them in home.
Because it's not a confrontation that can end well.
That will end well,
Any way
yes.
you look at it. Mr. George in Ikeja, thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Uncle Yori and the panelists.
Good morning,
can you hear
sir.
me, please? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Please continue. We can.
Uncle Yori, the federal government, in my view, is to blame for all these things. This boy has been terrorizing the country for a while. Somebody that was undergoing trial, you released him, and you allowed him to be doing whatever he likes. I'm not a lawyer, but I know that trying to divide a country is a treasonable felony. Does that require bail? You granted him bail. He flouted all the conditions, and nothing is being done. Yesterday, I saw a video where, in a commercial bus, some armed IPOB members will stop every bus or vehicle that is passing and search whether there is an outside person inside the bus with their arms. And if there happens to be outside person, they will bring the person out and disgrace him and do whatever. If those in the north now decide to react and do the same thing, what will happen? People do not talk about actions, they only talk about reactions. If I were the federal government, that senators that stood shorty for Kanu should by now be in detention. The bail conditions have been broken. We are behaving as if we are a banana republic. Everybody said that Jonathan was a weak leader. He wouldn't tolerate this.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Thank you very much. The Banana Republic part, it's on IPOB's part.
Excuse me.
In fact, there was a
There
was a way some people have criticized the government, as Mr. George said.
Excuse me. Can I hammer on that?
For that whole bit, yeah.
Can I speak something about that? We all know that Buhari is considered a former general.
He is a former general.
Yeah, well, a non-respecter of the rule of law.
Well, okay. If that's what you mean, okay.
Yes, he doesn't respect the rule of law.
Well, he was a military head of state.
Yes, okay, I agree.
Yes,
all right. So, if by every standard now he says, get that boy's bail withdrawn, send him back to the jailhouse, the next thing you hear is Buhari.
Thank you.
APC government.
Well, okay, exactly.
When
because
he was under detention, you could see the amount of agitation.
And this is beyond APC or PDP.
APC has been calling for caution.
Yes.
Very serious caution in this whole matter.
Now, let me.
Yes, please continue.
Yes, and I want to give accolade to the current leadership of the military. Like I said before, they are trying to see whether we can resolve this issue.
Yes. And so a concession was made. Mr. George said he blames the federal government for that very concession that is being abused now.
It has been abused.
Mr. James in Maryland, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Okuyori. My name is James Momo, calling from Maryland.
Okay.
Okuyori, there is something there. Who is this man called Kadu? Who is this man called Kadu in the first place? Is he above the law? Is he above the constitution of Nigeria? Is he above the law of Nigeria? We have just one president who is Muhammadu Buhari, as so speak. Kanu has been making himself a tea god in the East.
Yes.
I happen to stay with an Igbo guy out there. We stay together. An average Igbo man who knows what he's doing never wanted to identify himself with Biafra. I tell you this, I'm speaking for one or two of my friends that I know very well who are Igbos. An average Igbo man who runs business out there that is expecting 10 containers in the ports today never wanted to identify himself with anything called Biafra. And we should ask very well, what those people bringing these weapons? Who are the brains behind this man called Kanu? Who are his supporters? Look, you know what is happening in Philippines? You know what happened in Philippines? The president of Philippines never said this. He went almost all those guys that are parading themselves as a team that wanted to create or divide Philippines today. Yeah. We should leave this, we should forget this thing called democracy, human rights, and all the rest. When a country is in an edge like this, and we are putting our hands, and the government are putting their hands, the senators are flying, running here and there, doing all that sort of thing, we should take the bull by the horn. Look, Okuyori, when Odi, you know what happened in Odi? You are an Indian person. You know what happened in Odi? What is Buhari waiting for? Why everybody that is watchable? And let's have peace in this country. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Another dangerous development is that Kanu is trying to give this thing an ethnic coloration.
Yes.
By virtue of what he just said. How now they are stopping Northerners in vehicles, bringing them out. And so, if this starts happening up north against the Igbos and so on, you see that we're into a tribal war.
But we
mustn't allow this thing to take an ethnic coloration.
I thank God that the leaders in the north are on ground and they are trying to manage the crisis as it's supposed to be.
We know it's a Kanu thing, not an Igbo thing.
Now, can I say this? We all know what Kanu stands for. Kanu is simply a scam. IPOB is a scam. They have made enough money by fleecing the governors who were greedy.
Exactly. You know, as the last caller was asking, the guys behind Kanu, Kanu on his own, you know,
cannot do some of the things
he can't do.
You know, he has fleeced them of so much money. I know that Radio Biafra operated across 100 countries. And because the Igbo man is gullible, I speak it boldly on TV today.
Well, as you said, being a Benue man yourself,
yes,
you know, one has to be careful about statements.
I want to especially warn Kanu.
We want to be careful about divisive statements.
Frankly, I am warning him personally. He has no business anything from 9th Mile. No business. He will find a different story. We are ready.
Well, government, I think it is generally agreed. Mr. Emmanuel is calling in from Aba. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Please go ahead.
Emmanuel from Aba. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead and don't stop.
Okay, sir. I just want to lend my voice on the ongoing crisis here in Abia State, and in Aba in particular. Most of the reportage on the media and online and social media is not actually what is happening here. Let me just cite an instance. Yes. Yesterday morning, early this morning, we were woken up by sporadic gunshots and Orata Express along Port Harcourt Enugu Express Road, just close to Onion Market. Most of us couldn't sleep all night. And from my vantage position, I was able to see some military vehicles, stationed along the expressway. And the reason for the shooting, I cannot ascertain. Aba has been peaceful for a long time, and this young man has been agitating for his Biafra thing, his self-determination thing. And I don't think that this Operation Python Dance is worth the while now. My reason being that the former Python Dance have not even finished dancing. We are still grappling with the situation that within 2 poles or 3 poles we have military checkpoints, and all of them, I want to tell you from my own very point of view that all of them are there to collect 100 naira from every commercial vehicle. And to come and now start another Operation Python Dance, part 2 of it, going from street to street, is intimidating to all citizens. I have not even gone out to my shop because I can't go out at this particular point in time. I don't know where the bullet will hit me from. So let's treat this issue with a human mind, not calling, going after them, go after them. They are calling for Biafra, go after them. That is not the solution. And even after the war, people will still sit down and dialogue. Why not start the dialogue, not confrontation now? That's my own take, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. He talked about the dialogue.
That advice should go to Kano.
Negotiations and all of that. I wonder if you...
Do you read the psychological... Did you read the psychological effect on the young man who's just spoke?
Indeed.
He's broken down already.
He's just traumatized.
Yeah, he's
and in that traumatized state, somehow he seems to have forgotten that there is only one authority that cannot tolerate any pretender that is really going to do nothing more than just cause chaos.
This is
unnecessary chaos, unnecessary pain, unnecessary killing.
That state is what we never wish them.
Yes.
Traumatized situation. My brother, if you look, some of us have read a lot of books on, we were grown up when the Biafran War finished. Nobody wants a Rwanda or Sierra Leone or a Liberia happening in the soil. It's not a good taste.
Okay, Mr. Sam, calling in from the UK. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Yori, for a very good job well done there. This issue of self-determination by the East, I want to believe that a lot of people do not know what is happening. I think it is sheer miscalculation of Kano that has led to this point. We are speaking from UK. 2 points I want to make. I think when he was coming to Nigeria, he probably made this erroneous mistake, thinking that when he gets to Nigeria, that and he is able to do this, that the British High Commission will rescue him because he holds a British passport or whatever.
Yes.
But when that one did not work,
failed.
He made that mistake. He now thought he has to use what Yorubas we call agidi or whatever. Now, that's one aspect of it. Then the other one is that we can listen and we can talk from abroad and say other things. Nigeria belongs to us all. Those of us who are in diaspora, we know what we face all over here. And someone from Ghana can call and say someone is self-determination when there's a government in place. I want to believe that President Muhammad Buhari should wake up from his slumber. His health is not affecting his brain. He is a brilliant man. He should come out and show that there's a government in place and they tackle this guy called Kanu. And he should invite the traditional rulers to speak personally to these people and warn the governors. Where if it takes place, the National Assembly will not stop him from declaring a state of emergency because we cannot operate a lawless country. Those of us in diaspora, we are ashamed of our nation right now. The government should rise up in place. They should stand up. That guy nothing, and they should look for those behind him. They need to look for those behind him. There are some people came up the other time, they say a professor and stuff. Let me just stop here because of your time.
Thank
we
you
need
very
to wake
much.
up as a nation. Those of us in diaspora, we are ashamed of our nation right now that a government in place can allow this lawlessness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I
Mr.
just
Sam,
hope
calling in.
this is not political. I just hope this is not political. It's a strategy by APC to seize Abia and Anambra. because they will just declare state of emergency in Abia tomorrow, put a military governor there. Anambra, another military governor. 2019, another election. APC grabs it.
I mean, to talk about left field. Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
Excuse me.
I've heard that theory of yours.
These our brothers should be sensible.
I've heard that theory. Well, did you want to comment on that, one way or the other?
No, completely. I must tell him to disabuse his mind. Disabuse your mind.
Gentlemen.
I don't even want to believe it.
Yeah, why am I saying disabuse your mind? Because frankly speaking, if you know the character of the president,
Muhammad
you know,
Buhari.
I have always said he's not a politician.
No.
I have always said
I don't know where that came from, but there you go.
He's not the man that will be given to
I
that.
just wish it didn't happen.
Okay.
But they are selling out already. They are selling the agenda out. If it is me, APC, I will seize it.
Oh, okay. They are making it possible.
They are making it possible for APC.
For such a thing to come in. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.
Because if you put
Ode, the
Yes,
National
please,
Coordinator Coalition of Civil Society for Transparency.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And also Colonel Hassan Stan Labo, retired.
Before I go,
security consultant. Thank you very much. You can't say anymore. We finished. We've rounded off this program. I thank you for the views that you have expressed already.
We didn't have time.
Tomorrow,
We
for
never
a fresh
really
edition
have that
at 9:30. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.